In this tutorial I will show you how to make this star using 5 double-pointed needles. Remember that if you use a thinner yarn, you get a smaller star. In this case I used a 5mm yarn using 4.5mm needles, and in this case I used a 3mm needle, a 3mm yarn using 2.5mm needles. We have to start casting on 95 stitches. We take 4 of the 5 needles and we have to cast on 25, 25, 25 and 20 stitches on the needles. We start making a slip knot. And we have to cast on the first needle 25 stitches. Once we have the 25 stitches, we take the second needle and cast on the second needle also 25 stitches. Once we have the second needle, take the third needle and cast on again 25 stitches. And take the last needle and cast on 20 stitches. We have 95 stitches. You have to be sure that all the stitches are on the same way. In this case, you should have all the stitches to the center of the needles. Try to center the stitches in the middle of the needles, because it's possible that sometimes you can lose some stitches, so if the stitches are in the center, you will not lose the stitches. On this row, on the first row, we have to knit all the stitches. We have to work and knit a stitch in all the stitches. We take the last needle. We start knitting the first stitch that we have on the first needle. We place the empty needle, take both strands of the yarn and make the knit stitch. We joined now the round. And continue knitting all the stitches of the first needle. Once we have all the stitches of the first needle, we knit the last stitch, and you can see here that we have again an empty needle. We use this empty needle to knit all the stitches of the second needle. Once we finished the second needle, here you can see the two needles that we made the knit stitch. And we continue with the third needle, also working the knit stitch. You can see here that the stitches are twisted. Remember that all the stitches must be on the same direction. So fix it and work the knit stitch in all the stitches of the fourth needle. We finished the first row. We have the 25, 25, 25 and 20 stitches on the needles. Row number 2. You can place a marker at the beginning of the row, but if you have the tail of the cast on, you can see where is the beginning of each row. Take the empty needle and we start the second row making 8 knit stitch. Once we have the 8 knit stitch, we have to make a decrease. How we make the decrease? We have to pass the 2 following stitches from the left to the right needle together, the 2 stitches together, knit the 3rd stitch and pass the 2 stitches that we have on the right needle over the knit stitch. We made 1 decrease. Continue working 16 stitches. We made 14 stitches on the first needle. We have to continue on the second needle with 2 more knit stitches. And work again 1 decrease. Remember, we have to pass the 2 following stitches together to the right needle, knit the next stitch and pass the 2 stitches over the 3rd stitch. Work again 16 stitches, 16 knit stitches. Once we have the 16 stitches, we have to make again a decrease. Continue with 16 knit stitches again. Once we made again the 16 stitches, we have to make again a decrease. And again 16 stitches, 16 knit stitches. One decrease again. And we need the last 8 stitches. We finished the second row. We finished with 85 stitches. And we have 5 decreases. We start the row number 3 with 7 knit stitches, 7 knit stitches. And we make again one decrease, as we made on the previous row, one decrease. Continue with 14 stitches. Once we have the 14 stitches, we make again one decrease. We continue again with 14 stitches, and we have to repeat the 14 stitches and one decrease to have only 7 stitches on the last needle. We made now the last decrease and we only have 7 stitches, so we have to work the knit stitch on the 7 stitches, and we finish this row with 75 stitches. Start the next row with 6 knit stitches. Make one decrease. And continue with 12 knit stitches. Once we finish the 12 stitches, we have to make again one decrease. And continue with 12 knit stitches. Let's see what's happening now. We have to make the decrease, but we have 2 stitches of the decrease in one needle and thus the third stitch of the decrease on the other needle. So we have to place the 2 first stitches on the left needle and make the decrease. And repeat the same to make 5 decreases. Once we have the 5 decreases, we have to knit the last 6 stitches. Start the next row with 5 knit stitches. and 1 decrease. Ten knit stitches, and here you can see that we have again the 3 stitches of the decrease on different needles, so we have to join the 3 stitches and make the decrease. Continue with 10 knit stitches and 1 decrease, and repeat 10 knit stitches and 1 decrease to have only 5 stitches on the needle. Start the next row with 4 knit stitches, and make 1 decrease. Continue with 8 knit stitches, 8 knit stitches, and again 1 decrease. We have to join the 3 stitches of the decrease and make the decrease. And we repeat 8 knit stitches and 1 decrease to have 5 decreases and finish this row with 4 knit stitches. Start the next row with 3 knit stitches, and now 1 decrease. Six knit stitches, again 1 decrease, and repeat 6 knit stitches and 1 decrease to have 5 decreases, and we finish the row with 3 knit stitches. Continue the next row with 2 knit stitches, and 1 decrease, continue with 4 knit stitches, again 1 decrease, and repeat 4 knit stitches and 1 decrease to have 5 decreases, and finish this row with 2 knit stitches. Continue the next row with only 1 knit stitch, and now we make 1 decrease. Continue with 2 knit stitches and 1 decrease again. And we repeat 2 knit stitches and 1 decrease to have the 5 decreases, and finish the row with 1 knit stitch. We have now only 15 stitches, and we have to make now 5 decreases. Once we finish the 5 decreases, we have only 5 stitches on the needles. 1, 1, 1 and 2 stitches on each needle. We have to cut the yarn, take a needle. Here you can see the last stitch, so we have to go to the left, passing the needle through each stitch. We pass the needle through each 5 stitches, through all the stitches. Pull the yarn, and we can see now that the hole in the center is closed. Place the yarn to the back, place the yarn to the wrong side of the start, and fasten off. We have to make 2 pieces of the star, 2 pieces, and we have to sew the 2 pieces together. We have to join the 2 pieces Once we have only a few stitches to close the star, we have to stuff with wadding and then finish to sew the star. We have to finish sewing the star. Once you finish, you can take the needle and pass the yarn through one point and make a knot, or if you want to cut the yarn, it's up to you.